night and I'm thinking slowly. In your offer I am sinking, drinking makes it so attractive, amazing baby, that I just can't refuse. I creep in the bar in shadows, I'm checking hot little things I could be infecting. Sisters' names, Mr. Blister, how do you do? Everyone loves company. Have a drink with me, be my remedy. And in time realizes sacrifice is nice forever, bonded by this glue. Me and you. Up into bed, a friend I'm including. Sick little bug, hope he's not intruding. Givens, my solution, it's my contribution. Taking straight blood for blood. See this trick I flip, slipped into my sight.
Hey guys, Nexie here from Greedy Dragon Brewing. Welcome back to another episode. I know it's been a while. I've been told when people start posting on your YouTube channel saying, "Where's Greedy?" Or they send you emails, "Where's Greedy?" Or they're posting in the forums, "Hey man, has anyone seen Nexia? Has anyone seen Greedy Dragon? It's been a while." Yes, I'm still alive. I am okay, and I appreciate the fact that you're asking about me and that you want more videos. That makes me feel great. Life has been a little bit crazy and a little bit hectic lately. I know I said that before, but you know, when life throws you curveballs, sometimes you just have to prioritize and take care of business. And that's what I've been doing here. And unfortunately, that meant that making videos and brewing to some degree has been put on the sidelines. But I do appreciate you. And in fact, my viewership or my subscribership has grown up to 350 subscribers last time I checked, which is crazy. So even though I've been inactive, other people have been joining the fold, which is a great honor, and I appreciate you. Welcome aboard to the Greedy Dragon Freight Train. As you saw from the beginning of the video, I received some beer mail from my man JMCMLXX. And Jay is an incredible brewer. I've been honored with many of his beers, and we talk on a regular basis, shooting ideas back and forth. And you know, getting some beer mail is exactly what I needed. It is exactly what I needed. And so he sent me a supercharger. Now the cool thing about this is today, Nate from Under the Table Brewing had posted his video trying out this very same beer, and it was, to be quite honest, it was a fantastic video. He did a three-way tasting, him and Elder P. They pulled out this supercharger, I think there was one from Everett Brewing, and their own supercharger, and did a three-way taste comparison on video, and it was awesome. And he gave lots of great compliments to Jay's beer. I know that Jay is a fantastic brewer, so I am looking forward to digging into that. I also got a Zythos APA, Jay's Pale, which he sent to me, and 2 Canadian Rye PAs. Now this is a project between myself, Jay, and Brew Magoo out of Manitoba, Canada, and Jay's brewed it. I'm not sure if Brew Magoo has, but I may be the last person to get on the hop and start actually brewing it. So I have to get this project done. This is my first next beer to get done, and I promise it. I've got most of the ingredients. I just need to bring in a couple more, but I wasn't able to do it on schedule the way that I had planned. So this is super exciting. I'm looking forward to getting into that. And Jay, I promise you, I will get that beer done. He bugs me all the time. Have you done it? Have you done it? Have you done it? No, I have not, but I will. I promise. You saw, or I'll post a clip, I guess, of my hops. And so these are my hop plants this year. These are second year plants now. You remember my hop videos from last year we've had a warm spring and these suckers have really sprouted up. This is what I affectionately call baby Willamette. You can see it's almost halfway up to the roof line. That's probably a solid 10 feet. This is Magnum. This is Centennial. And Chinook. It's been a little bit dry even in this spring and unusually hot, so they've grown quickly, but I need to get some more water on these. And I moved them to the other side of the house. And the reason why I did that is last year during the summertime we were peaking out at about 42 degrees Celsius for several weeks, and the hot plants didn't really care for it very much. So they ended up actually dropping their leaves and they didn't really recover and start regrowing very well until the end of August and beginning of September, and then they really made a comeback. So this time I moved it to the shadier side of the house and they seem to have responded quite well. And again, these are second years. The other thing is I changed my trellising system. So the previous year I used photo hanging hooks. If you remember, I bent them over and I hooked them over the eaves troughs near the top there. This year I initially went to the hardware store and I picked up these anchors that are used for clotheslines and brought them home. It was pretty expensive. Then I realized, you know, that's a little bit heavy duty for what I need. And I happened to be shopping with my wife. We went to a dollar store and they had these stainless steel hooks that were in an S shape that were meant for hanging plants. And I bent them over and I hooked them into the cross members that come out from the house to support the eaves troughs, and there's a little hole in there. So I hooked them over and you can kind of see the tail end of those. So I used a pair of pliers and crimped one side to make a loop and left the other side open to hook through the hole, and they work like a charm. So these are my second year plants, and I hope to be able to hand out some rhizomes next year. Cheers. I moved my hot plants to the other side of the house. Last year they were on the sunny side. This time I'm putting them on the opposite side. They still get plenty of sun, but they seem to have responded better. See, last summer temperatures peaked past 42 degrees Celsius here for a fairly extended duration of time. And yes, I do live in Canada, and yes, it does get hot here. I live in the only natural desert area in Canada. It's the northern tip of the California desert, actually. So I live in a winemaking region, one of the premier winemaking regions in Canada, as well as the only desert. And I live in a community that's basically, to my understanding, only one of 7 cities in the world that has a lake on either side of it. Just little info facts for you. Anyways, so it got really hot last year. My hot plants didn't enjoy the heat, especially the direct sunlight. They ended up dropping some of their leaves and drying out to some degree, and then they recovered as temperatures started to decrease later in August and in early September, and they ended up having a fairly good harvest for first year plants. This year, their second years, they've already really taken off. You can see that I did some things differently, and I've talked about that in my video clip. But I'm really looking forward to that, and by the third year, I hope to be able to hand out some rhizomes. Again, I've got a Willamette, a Magnum, Centennial, and Chinook plant. So that's pretty cool, pretty exciting stuff. And here is my homebrew. This was a Cooper's IPA that I added some additions to. I steeped some grains, some A little bit of Canadian two-row was added to it. Had some crystal malt, some Caramunic malt. I used fresh Cascade hops and fresh Centennial hops from my harvest from my first year plants. So pretty good. But you know what happened? I've been teaching my brother-in-law how to brew. So that day we did his first brew, which was a fairly simple Mexican Cerveza, Cooper's Mexican Cerveza kit. We did it straight from the box, but he did the brew and I just kind of went through all of that. But I was brewing at the same time, and I put hops aside. I had some Amarillo hops and I had some Centennial hops that I put aside to dry hop this beer. And I can't find them. I couldn't find them. When it came time to do the dry hopping, I could not find them in the 2 fridges that I had and all the places that I normally put my brewing supplies. That they just disappeared. So this is a decent beer. It would have been that much better if I could have gotten a little bit more aromatics out of it. But you know what? It's drinkable, 6.5% ABV. So, you know, it does the job and it's filling my pipeline. You know, the other thing was, sometimes it's really cool and exciting to teach somebody how to brew and go back to basics and go through it. Steve, my brother-in-law, is ecstatic about his first beer. It's now ready in the bottles and it's looking good, tasting good. The Mexican Cerveza is a great beer to start out with. And I made him go through the whole gamut from cleaning, disinfecting. You know, I didn't pull the punches on him. I didn't make it easy. And bottling, right? So we're kind of spoiled when you're starting to pull your beers from the kegs all the time. And it's been a while since I bottled, so I loaned him my spare bottles. And I made him go through the whole process. So an hour and a half later, he's got his beer all nicely bottled up and, you know, batch carbed and, you know, the whole 9 yards. And it took me 5 minutes to transfer everything from my keg, from the fermenter to the keg, right? So guess who's looking for a system? Yeah, you bet. So anyways, guys, thank you. I'd like to say a special shout out to Nate and Elder P, Under the Table Brewing. I've been watching your videos. Your brew reviews are awesome as always, and I see you sporting my Greedy Dragon t-shirts on a fairly regular basis, so really appreciate that. Of course, Clement's Homebrew. Strat posted on my YouTube channel saying, hey, we need some Greedy. I need a Greedy Dragon Brewing video, and for that matter, so did Mr. Paulie Detmertz. So Paul, you know, I know you're out there. This video is for you. This is for you, sir. And this drink is for you as well. To all my friends who have sent me emails, messages, or posted on my walls or different things, I appreciate it. I am here. I'm very healthy and alive. Everything's going good. Just crazy. So I appreciate your support. And for all the new subscribers, stick around. I appreciate you joining my channel, and hopefully I can have some decent content coming up. Definitely there's going to be some videos of trying these fantastic brews. I'm really, you know, for one, I gotta say this because I don't think I had an opportunity to say it before, and I'm sorry I'm getting long-winded, but you know, it's been a while since I posted a video, so I guess you gotta bear with it. The Supercharger beer, right, has a story. You know, we lost a valuable member of our brewing community, and to be quite honest, one of my first YouTube subscribers. So, I mean, it's been a while. It's just been a while since anybody has... just hold on. Sorry about that. You know, it's just been a while since anybody I saw kind of posted about Paul WICKSTEED, and time for another one. And really, I don't want to underestimate the influence that that Paul has had on my brewing, on my hobby, and on so many other people out there. I mean, he was one of the first subscribers to my channel. And as anybody that starts out in YouTube, you know, he was big. You know, like when the person has 1,000+ subscribers or whatever, they're big. You know, and when you have 15 and you're looking at people that have influence, and you're looking at the quality of their videos and what they're producing and what they're doing for the brewing community, how they're communicating with people, that's big stuff. And Paul was one of the first people to join my channel, one of the first, I guess, big guys, big guns, to join my channel, and he gave a lot of supportive words, communicated via email, and you know, obviously through YouTube comments. You know, I posted frequently on his channel, got lots of great brewing ideas and you know, do-it-yourself ideas and all sorts of things, right? So the Supercharger was the beer attributed to him. Jay did it up, and kudos to Jay and kudos to everyone else. And you know, as I end today, not to get too melodramatic, you know, I'm not trying to say that I was best of friends with Paul, because it was you know, a simply a respectful relationship amongst homebrewers. But let's lift up a glass and say cheers to Mr. Paul WICKSTEED, and it's time for another one. Cheers. This is Nexia, Greedy Dragon Brewing. Come on over, pull up a chair, and have a beer with me. 17.